Hello again from the M.E Goddess. I say that a lot, eh? I do apologise. I had a bit of a another medical letdown yesterday. I've done a lot of research on how there are certain things that can help, not cure or anything, but can just make being upright a little bit more achievable for someone with any number of conditions. That means being upright puts pressure on the heart and blood pressure, etc. So I went to my doctor on the phone, of course, through I think we sent via email, and I've been asking her this periodically over the last 3 years, if I could please have a trial of IV fluids to increase my blood volume and oxygen. Now, it's not necessarily the case that my blood volume is too low, but it is found that because there's so many other problems, I've got too much hemoglobin, too much iron in my blood, blah blah. I know you wouldn't think it to look at me, would you? Anyway, she said that is not within her remit, she can't prescribe that. And so I've kind of left it for a while, and then yesterday I went back to her and I said, look, we're at the pointy end of this disease now. For me, I'm kind of clinging on to the last vestiges of being able to function, because I can just feel it all slipping away. Everything is so much harder now. Everything is so much harder. My body is changing daily now. So anyway, I asked her for these things. I gave her the research to back it up. And she said she had no idea how to make that happen for me, because Anyway, I spoke to the district nurses who have helped me in the past before, and they've been amazing. They've come to my home and given me B12 injections. I was getting 2 B12 injections a week for many, many months, until we realised that it wasn't making a damn bit of difference, and it was causing me a lot of anxiety. You know, getting an intramuscular injection twice a week, and sometimes they weren't given very kindly, so you know, I sort of got a bit of a thing about it. So I thought I'll give them a ring and see if they can help, and explained that I'm just looking for the ability for me to be upright. I had some very, very important projects to me that I really wanted to finish for my children, for when I'm gone. And it's becoming increasingly difficult to do that. And they said there's no way that they can help with that. They were really, really sorry. And they said, what about a needs assessment? And I said, well, actually, according to the New Zealand government, ME is a personal health issue, henceforth not their problem. So I can't get a needs assessment done to see what I might need to function within my home. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. You know, they said the only way I can get oxygen is to go through rigorous respiratory testing in hospital. Now, like, that might seem like a perfectly reasonable thing to you. You might think, well, of course you should go to get the testing done. But I think the majority of ME people out there who have gone through the medical system and been treated with the disrespect, really, I was sent to hospital, or most of us, to finish my thought, so many of us now have genuine PTSD from how we've been treated by the medical fraternity. I mean, there might be some golden angels in there, like my doctor. Now, the doctor beforehand certainly wasn't. She was very, it's, be positive in exercise, which has been proven is a killer. Not be positive, but exercising. Yeah, no, not going there this time. You probably heard me go on and on and on about that anyway previously. So, oh God, sorry. Let's just get some pillows behind me. Yeah. Okay, sorry. What was I saying? PTSD. Almost all the times I have been admitted to hospital, and it definitely got worse when I had my wheelchair, my doctor sent me to the emergency room to be admitted to hospital for an entire full medical review of my physical condition, my medications, everything. That was the intention. I went in my wheelchair because that has become a necessary part of my life. Now, I'm talking soon after I got my wheelchair, I think. And so I lay there all night in the ward. I got admitted to the medical ward, and I lay there all night. And I had a nurse come in once and says, "Have you got your own medication with you?" And I said, "Yes, I have." She says, "Okay, you'll be right then." I never saw anybody for the day of the admittance or the night. And the next morning, a doctor comes in with about 8 medical students. And we talk, and then he sees the wheelchair, and he says, "Oh, so you've got chronic fatigue syndrome?" And I said, "Yes, I do, and I'm here for a full medical review." And he says, "Well, can't really see, there's no alarm bells going off in the test." It's like, hello, that's what happens with ME. It doesn't show up on tests. You have to treat the symptoms because you won't find the cause. And anyway, so I was lying in bed, uncomfortable as hell, because, it was just a really uncomfortable sort of bed to slide up and down in. And I was in a lot of pain. And anyway, then the doctor saw my wheelchair. He says, "Oh, whose is that wheelchair?" And I says, "Well, that's my wheelchair." He said, "Well, can you walk?" And I said, "Yes, I can. But in order to conserve my energy, I use the wheelchair when I'm out and about." This is before I had to use it for inside the house. "Oh, well, can you show us how you walk?" And I thought, what? I'm in a full ward. I'm in a hospital gown. I'm supposed to be getting a full medical review. And now this doctor is asking me to get out of bed, walk up and down the corridor a few times with my nightgown flapping open because it didn't fit, in front of all of these people. So I did it. And he says, "You've got a bit of an exaggerated gait, haven't you?" As if to say, there's absolutely nothing fucking wrong with you. And, stop being such a bloody drama queen. And so he just patted. So I said, "So what's going on? Where are these new symptoms coming from? Are they from my medication? Does my medication need, juggled around?" Or, he says, "Oh, I tell you what, let's just say that it's an exacerbation of your chronic fatigue syndrome." And then he patted my hand. And all the people standing around me took notes. And I was left there. That was it. That was the entire experience of having a medical review in our hospitals. Because Oh, there, dear. Yes. Well, a little bit of exercise and some positive thinking, maybe lose a bit of weight, you'll be fine. Should we get you some therapy with that? I don't need fucking therapy. I need to be believed. So no, I'm not going back to the hospital. Ever. I think I'm getting tattooed. Leave me alone and do not resuscitate. I'm not going back to the hospital to go through a whole bunch of tests. At the end of the result will be, oh, I'm sorry, but your condition doesn't qualify for this treatment. Or, oh, there's a 6-month waiting list for an appointment. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've got better things to be spending the next 6 months of than waiting for a hospital appointment for something that nobody's going to believe anyway. So, end of story, no oxygen and no IV fluids. So, I shouldn't get upset about it. Why do I get angry? Why do I spin that spoon? Because part of my French, but because it's fucking justified. Our medical people are causing post-traumatic stress disorder, and not just for this drama queen, but for the millions and millions and millions of people just like me around the world. There, dear. Go for a nice walk. You'll feel so much better. So, if getting those little things that I thought might just give me a bit of a pep up, because I know when my dad, I know it's not the same thing, but when my dad was dying of cancer and he had something special coming up that he wanted, he'd go for a blood transfusion, and that will give him just enough oomphy daisy to attend, I think it was my wedding. I think he had a blood transfusion to be able to come to my wedding when I was 21. Yeah, Dad died in 26. Sorry, I can't remember. Died a long time ago anyway, when I was a young woman. And, the same with my mum when she was dying of cancer and end-of-life care, palliative care. It was all about keeping her comfortable. They cooked food, that she was in a home, and gave her the food that she really, really loved, because she really, really loved chippies, and that's what she got. But we are left to cope with this dying body alone, and to try and work out for ourselves what might help. My only option that was left to me was to obviously reduce the things I wanted to do. I had started writing my memoirs, my book, my story, because I've had a really, really, really interesting life, and I wanted to leave that for my future generations if they were interested. And I just thought, I've got this amount of time, I've got this amount of energy, and I've got this many things I want to do. Something has to give. So I deleted my book, the whole thing. I could not bear having it there half done, knowing I was taking time away from my children in the here and now to try and tell something that actually really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what my life is or was. It doesn't matter. What matters is what I leave behind in the memories of my husband and my children and my friends, my family. And I have to accept that that's what I'm leaving behind. It's just going to be those memories, and I've got to work really hard to make them good ones. things have kind of changed a little bit for us. I'll talk about it at a later time, but my deterioration is stepping up. And the writing's on the wall. I'm kind of down to eating like a bowl of gluten-free Special K with some fruits. That's it. Sometimes some vegetables and rice. Sometimes it's getting harder to swallow. When I'm drinking water, I have to remember what order my muscles have to work in. Pain attacks have increased, like all of us. Not this constant pain that we have, but the stab in that odd part of my body, whatever part it is certainly not a part that should be hurting, and then all of a sudden in it goes, and it can last sometimes what seems like ever, and all anyone can do is just hold me tight while I deal with the pain until that spasm passes. So thanks, medical people. Awesome job. There's something to be said when your doctor is coming to you for the latest research and advice on treatment because she has another patient with less severe ME but still with ME. Yeah. Gotta laugh. Okay. I've had my wine. Oh, not my wine. I've had my tantrum. I've been a whiny pants. Yeah. So I'm like blinkers on. It's bucket list time on memories with my babies. I mean, my bucket list is kind of already completely unachievable, so we had a talk with the big kids last night. This is me. Tunnel vision. Happy memories. Because that's all I'm leaving behind. There ain't going to be a book about it. Okay. Thanks for listening. I'll go to bed now. She should have gone to bed before. But that's okay. Okay, I say toodles from Casa de Boudoir. Bye.